Alright guys, this is the little behind schedule, but better late than never. I have a bag full of frisbees I've never thrown before, a bunch of new molds, and I wanted to do a little review on each one of them. Alright, we got the Bryce, the Gobi, and the Sarek. All the new Overmolds from Latitude 64. They were released at GBO, but I'm really just now having time to get to them. Got Westside Discs Fortress. I've heard great things about this disc, as well as Westside Discs Pine, which is part of the Trilogy challenge. This is an old one, the River Pro. It's been out for a little while, but I still haven't been able to throw it. And last but not least, my most anticipated disc, the Deputy from Dynamic Discs, also part of the Trilogy challenge. This will hopefully replace my Swan, though I'd like it in a medium plastic. So let's see how they fly. Lots of glide. I'd call it stable to understable. Went really far without throwing very hard. Nice and straight. Not overstable, but just stable enough. Probably really good for beginners. I want to throw that a few more times, but it definitely has some fade on it, more than I expected. Really glidey. Definitely understable to straight. Barely any finish, goes really straight. I can tell if you get it on a little bit of an anhyzer, it's going to hold that line for a long time. Alright, I got in a little over a half of a round with all these discs, and it was really fun. So the Sarek is overstable. My only complaint is that it's kind of domey, which makes it feel really big in the hand. I think it'd be a really good throwing putter. I threw it a few times and it's still stable. It's still putted well, it just feels a little bulky for me. The Deputy, as I thought, I love this disc. It's very straight. If you throw it flat and just as flat as you can go, it'll go straight, turn a little bit, and it'll still come out. If you put it on an anhyzer, it holds an anhyzer line for a little while. And you can still get it to hyzer, you just have to be kind of gentle with it. The Westside Discs Pine. This reminds me of a sling, but maybe a little more stable. Maybe also compared to a Verdict. You can tell it wants to glide, but it still has a very stable finish. Let's do the Fortress. This thing is beefy. I would compare it to a faster, more stable culverin, kind of like a PD. Definitely feels good in the hand, but it is a monster for me. But it's also 173 and I don't usually throw that heavy, so that could be why. And I'm in Utah. The River Pro. This disc is really unique because you can tell that it wants to glide like a river does. You can tell it just fights everything you're putting on it to stay in the air. But it's so overstable at the end that it still wants to finish. For someone with my arm speed, this is a very overstable disc, but for others it might still be a very glidey but more reliable river. And the last two, we've got the Gobi. This thing is really fun. It's pretty straight, very glidey. It goes almost as far as most of my drivers, which is cool. It feels great in the hand. I really like this disc a lot. And the Bryce. This was my go-to for most of my half of the round. Feels awesome, is just stable enough, like straight stable. It's not really overstable, it's not really understable for me anyways. This thing is glidey, it goes really far, and it's really fun. That's my disc review of all the most recent Trilogy discs that were released. I hope it helps.